So this is a message to the parents of graduating seniors. We're coming into May, so within the next month, a lot of your kids are going to be graduating from whatever college, around the country, depending on what their major is. I know, with having a couple of nieces myself that are around that age, it's very tough for these students once they graduate to get a job. A lot of kids come out and they think just because they have a 4-year degree that they're going to get a job within a month or two of applying, and it's just not the case. It's very competitive out there. So, I know when I post a medical sales role, I get 300 to 500 applicants within 2 to 3 days. So they really have to understand that you can't just apply to get a job. You need to do the extra work. You have to work with a coach if you really want to stand out. And obviously I'm here to sell my services, but it really does work, because the average rep out there, or whatever industry you're trying to break into, you need to do things that the majority of candidates aren't doing. How are you researching the company? Are you just going online and looking up what products they sell? Are you just doing research of the manager? There's many more tools that you should be using to network when you're breaking into a role. So, quick tip is, be very strategic, focus on only a couple of roles instead of just sending your resume out there, and make sure you're doing the correct marketing. So for any of you parents out there that want to learn more about RepPath services, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at joe@reppath.com or message me on LinkedIn. But whatever I can do to help your, you and, get that stress off your mind when your kids are graduating, it's, 4 to 6 months where they're still not getting a job, it gets frustrating, especially parents that have just shelled out, $300,000 to $400,000 in college tuitions. You want to see your kids out there working, so it's frustrating. I know, I've been there myself. I work with reps every day. I see what parents go through. I see the struggles that the candidates go through and the frustrations. So please reach out to me whenever you get a chance, and I can gladly walk you through my services and how I can help.